Hello once again, ladies and gentlemen of the Winner's Circle, and welcome back to Play to Win's Playpen, the Hearthstone Arena. I am Play to Win. And in the last video, we were 2-1, and I apologize for the weird commentary for this video because I forgot to record when I did this video run right here. So I'm doing a voiceover of the game that has already passed, so I'm just going to try to provide commentary on the plays I made and why I played them, and maybe what I could have done differently, or just that type of deal. And I'm feeling kind of good when I start because we obviously went 2-1 the last arena video, and I'm feeling pretty good because that's one of the best starts I've ever had, is going 2-1. And it takes a while to find a match in this. It always does. Then our first opponent turns out to be a shaman, which I feel okay with. Shamans I don't think are too horrible because a lot of their powerful spells they have overloads on. And what the overloads are is, depending on what the number is, if you use that spell, the overload means you have that many less mana on your next turn. And here I'm feeling pretty good because I got a lot of low mana cards, so I decided to coin into my Knife Juggler. Just because I figure I can summon some early minions and just get some use out of it. If he summons a minion with like only 1 health, I can take it out. And I'm thinking, instead of wasting my Ironbeak Owl, just use my hero power next turn, and hopefully the knife would hit the proper target. And then he brings out the Murloc Scout for 2, which summons another Scout, which really sucks, but I still decide to stick with my plan, do that, and of course RNGesus hates me and shoots the wrong target. And then I just attack directly, figuring he's just going to take out my Knife Juggler with that Murloc. And he does exactly as I thought. So that's kind of a crappy play. I was really hoping that the Knife Juggler would have killed the 2-attack creature, but that's how things go sometimes in Hearthstone. You can't always get lucky. But then I'm thinking, obviously, bring up my taunt, because he's got a taunt of his own, and eventually hoping to combo the Blood Elf, or the Blood Knight, with the Divine Shield character, the Silver Moon Guardian, because obviously it'll make my Blood Knight even more powerful, which is always a good thing.
We must cleanse the Sunwell.
And he brings out his little cleric and gives his taunt 1 damage, which 1 damage and 1 health, which was kind of frustrating, but I was just thinking what to do here.
Let me think.
And I decided to go with Consecration. Might have been a misplay, but I just decided to do that instead of sacrificing too many minions or letting him get the board control away from me. So right now I feel I have somewhat board control, not the greatest creature on the board, but at least I got something and he doesn't. And right here we're just playing the waiting game, basically, waiting for him to make his move. And I just start playing around with the board like I usually do, just to pass time while waiting. And he summons another totem and gives it a taunt, which that's really frustrating as well.
Silvermoon shall not fall.
And then I decided to bring out my Divine Shield character, hoping that I will just kill his other minion and take care of it like that. And now his totem deck down to 1 health, which is kind of a useless attack now that I look back on it, because at the end of his turn it's just going to heal itself anyway. Then he brings out Illidan Stormrage, which really concerned me. Because anytime you play a card, you get a 2-1 card, which obviously it's very, very scary. So I decided this is a time to pull out my silence, but first I want to beef up my Blood Knight, and then take care of that Illidan Storm Rage. Then I take his attack down to 1 because 7 attack is obviously very scary that early on in the game.
Remember, kill the loss. Remember, kill the loss.
And then I decided to try to get some board control back. I got 4 creatures, he's got 2. And at this point I'm feeling alright because my creatures are actually a lot more powerful, but he clears the board and evens it up. And then he just deals 3 damage and takes out my Blood Knight, which I figured was going to happen. 6 damage makes it a prime target to eliminate. Then I get Twilight Drake, which I decided to play, I believe, which wasn't a very good idea. But hey, I think I'd do it anyway. And I make a very obvious misplay here, because if I was planning on bringing out Twilight Drake, I should have taken it out first, obviously, because it would have had 1 extra health. But that was my fault, and nothing I can really do about it now. Turn's already passed. It's too late to go back and try to fix it. So I'm launching stones at him, hoping I'll find a glitch to destroy him. And then I get frozen in my Drake, which is also extremely frustrating.
The gates are open. Reporting for duty.
But then I pull out my Lord of the Arena, hoping it's going to buy me some time, but probably a bad idea because both those minions could have taken it out anyway, but then he turns it into a taunt, which really sucks, obviously. So he is definitely in the driver's seat on this one, and he gets his health totem at perfect timing for him to keep that other minion alive. And right now I'm hoping to draw a Contemplate at some point, and I just get a charge card. And I was really considering bringing out my Stormwind champion, but if I brought him out, he would have been killed pretty quickly, so I felt like that was a smart play to make there. And I take out the high damage creature and just attack directly. That's all I figure I can do at this point.
I hope you like my invention.
So yeah, at this point right here now, I'm like, okay, he's got more cards than me, and I'm feeling like it's pretty much game over because unless I get a very lucky draw, still praying for a Consecration, and of course it doesn't come. So I decided to try to stifle his attempt at beefing up his 1 minion by bringing it back down to 1 health, or 1 attack.
Reporting for duty.
But then I realized that's obviously not silence, he can still upgrade it. Now bringing out that creature, I realized I wasted its battle cry, but I needed something on the field to try to trade with him if I could get the shot. But then, as I said before, he's got the perfect opportunity to just trade the way that he wants to trade the minions, and leaving me just at the mercy of hoping for the Consecration Seal to come next turn. And he's just completely annihilating me. And then he brings out a taunt with Divine Shield, which at this point I'm like, okay, this has got to seal it. There's no way I'm coming back from this. And I get a Leper Gnome, which obviously is not going to save me. So I play both my cards at this point because there's nothing really left to do. That's all. My last chance is this.
Reporting for duty.
Get some minions out on the field, and then he pulls out this card on me, which you'll see in a second. It's game over. kills my enemies, makes itself even stronger. And this is where he ends it right here, giving all his minions free attacks, so obviously he's got plenty of damage to completely take me out right here. And at this point, I was just talking about the loss, and I really couldn't. I was going to give him a well played, but in the middle of talking, I just couldn't put two and two together in my head to actually click the well played button, but things happen. Moving on to the next match, I'm hoping I can still get another win, at least try to finish even the arena 3-3. And after coming off a tough loss, I come against a priest, which is definitely not a class I want to see, because I know priests are very overpowered since their last update of the game. And I decided to keep these cards instead of play around because I got an early consecration for early board control. Low cost cards, feeling alright about it. And for some reason I decide that it's a good idea to coin into Pint-Sized Silver. Excuse me, I was yawning there, I apologize. I thought it was a good idea to coin into pulling out my Pint-Sized Summoner, figuring I'll pull out my Raid Leader for one less, so it'll be just 2 mana to bring out, making my Pint-Sized Summoner a 3/2. And hoping that he doesn't have any early cards to try to just start putting the hurt on him, make him feel the pressure. Then he pulls out his Leopard Gnome, which at this point I'm like, yeah, he's gonna use his Leopard Gnome to defeat my Point-Sized Summoner, which really sucks. And he gave it 2 health, so that way he can destroy me and still have a card in the field. So I bring out my Raid Leader and just attack directly. I want to make him decide who he wants to trade for.
I hope you like my invention.
And then he goes and gives it 2 more health, which was really upsetting. So I give my Raid Leader Divine Shield, just to take out the Leopard Gnome, I believe. And I give it that spell as well, just because I'm running low on cards already, and I need card draw, so if Raid Leader found a way to survive still, I could continue to get more card draw out of him. But I realized putting that spell on him makes him even more of a target than he already was to begin with.
Handle it.
Then it turns out he had a Raid Leader of his own, and takes me out with his card draw card. And here I wasn't too sure what to do, so I decided to concentrate just to get rid of. Both those cards are very scary. One card gives him card draw, the other card is just ridiculous and gives all his minions +1, so I felt like that was a smart play. And I still had a couple more consecrations left in the deck, so I didn't feel too bad about using it, but then he pulls out his Kodo and just completely annihilates the only card I had on the field. So then I decide to play my secret, which when he summons a creature, will take their health down to 1, and I bring out my charge card. I'm not sure why I decided to attack the Kodo like that, because he has a spell where he can heal himself. So that was obviously a pretty bad play in my part. And now I'm already down to 2 cards, which are very good cards, but not in the situation where I was forced to use them in. And I was happy about this because he brought out his Light Spawn, which he tries to heal to get his attack back, but he realizes he can't. So that's a very good play to kind of nerf that one really strong card.
For justice.
I decided to take out the Light Spawn before he does anything crazy with it.
The Frost Wolves stand
Then I bring out that card, which kind of a dumb play, but I needed a minion on the field, and he doesn't get the benefit of his battle cry, which is he gets +1/+1 for every friendly minion on the field, and obviously there's none, so I didn't get anything for it. Just presence on the field, basically, is what I got in return.
I must consider.
And then he brings out his Temple Enforcer and heals up his Kodo once more, which really sucked. And I get a taunt, which I felt was very needed at that point. Bring his attack down to 1, and then just attack the Kodo directly, and then smack him directly. But then he ends up doing something which really sucks for me.
That was a mistake.
And I don't remember why I said that was a mistake, to be honest, but I did.
In the light's name.
And then whenever a character is healed, that card gains attack, which is crazy. It gets out of control really fast. So, obviously, as you can tell, I have no cards on the field. And he's got plenty of cards on the field. And I'm backed up in the corner, and we both only have 1 card left, but not feeling very good at the moment. Decided to bring out that card, even though I know it can get destroyed pretty easily. And I didn't realize by pulling him out and healing myself, it would actually buff up his own character. So that was a bad play in my mind. And at this point, I should have just hit end turn, but for some reason, I felt like it was a good idea to attack the Wind Fury. Which was kind of silly, actually. Then he copies some cards from my deck, which really sucks. So priests, that's why I think priests are really overpowered. They've got some really good cards to start out with, and then they can just steal a bunch of your cards, just kind of giving them an advantage to know what cards to expect. So they can play your cards and use your cards to their advantage, as well as knowing what's coming. And at this point, I know it's over. I can't do anything. I don't get a consecration. I don't get anything to remotely even get close to saving me, so I just concede to him. Very well played game by him. I got completely thrashed there, and just like that, my decent arena run went down in flames. So obviously all I can do is just see what I got for my attempt. And I end up getting 35 gold and 15 dust. And obviously you get a pack every time. So let's open our pack, and we've got only 1 rare inside. So we got Mirror Entity. When your opponent plays a minion, summon a copy of it, which is very good. It's a mage card. Then a Paladin card, Blessing of Wisdom, we saw me use this. Choose a minion whenever attacks, draw a card. Shadow Step, return a friendly minion to your hand. It costs 2 less. Then Wind Fury Harpy. Obviously you can attack twice, 4/5. And all classes. And all classes for this one, Taunt, Divine Shield. And because of my OCD, I like to go through the cards and make all the new things disappear. Because I don't like looking at my cards and having that thing on top. So I just started looking at my cards a little bit. And here I forget how to actually scroll through. So I keep clicking repeatedly like a weirdo. So I'm like, oh, I gotta click the page. My bad. I'm sorry. And the 2 cards I got that are in here now is the Wind Fury Harpy and the Sunwalker. And that was it for this arena run. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I really apologize for the poor play in this one. In the future, now I realize when I make a deck and I do decent with it, instead of stopping then and waiting the next day to pick it back up, I should just play the arena all the way through in the same day and just break it up in a couple different videos so it's not too long to watch. So I will do that in the future. And like I said, I apologize for kind of squandering a decent attempt, but I wasn't getting very good card draw. That's just the way Hearthstone goes. It's really up to RNG just a lot. But if you guys enjoyed, then just please leave a like and favorite. It helps out a lot. subscribe, become part of the Winner Circle, so you can get more videos and possibly see more Hearthstone in the future. And I'll see you guys next time. And as always, everybody, have a great day.